guys, I've been recording a lot of interesting things, a lot of interesting, oh God, let's move on. I have something to talk about because it involves all of us. It involves everyone on YouTube. It involves everyone in the world almost. We've all been scammed. We've all been scammed. We all fell for it. I mean, some of you probably are smarter than I was, but I know a lot of people, even people who think they know what's going on, especially the people who think they know what's going on, have been scammed. It's about Jeffrey Epstein. Common acceptance seems to be that he was quote-unquote suicided in jail. He was murdered in jail. Like, that seems to be the common narrative that everyone has agreed to accept. That there was corruption, and it was covered up by killing the guy. And up until, I think it was yesterday, I pretty much thought that too. And then something struck me. I don't know what I was doing when I'm like, are we all idiotic? Jeffrey Epstein is not dead. Jeffrey Epstein had this isn't Bill Cosby. This isn't some guy with, a few $1 million. Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire. He had 2 islands. Apparently he was actually worth $500 million. Let's leave it at $500 million. Guys, let's be clear. There is not a prison guard in the entire universe, across the entire history of the universe, who would refuse $1 million to look the other way. There's not a prison warden in the universe who will not accept $5 million to look the other way. There's no policeman who's not going to accept $1 million to look the other way, especially when the guy is not a serial killer. I mean, his crimes, they're morally repugnant, but come on, he bought himself out, guys. He's in Israel, or I say he's probably in Israel, and with probably facial reconstruction. But the chances that he wouldn't have been able to buy himself out of that situation are absolutely ground zero. It's zero. Impossible. Impossible. Especially when we look at what happened. There's no tape, blah, blah. Well, then for sure, it didn't happen. But even if they had shown us a tape, even if we had seen a body at a funeral, which never happened, it still wouldn't be believable, guys. Okay, let's just say he has to pay off, oh my God, let's say he has to pay off maximum money. It's terrible. Everyone knows, everyone's like 100 people. You have to get through 100 guards, which is never likely. Probably 20, 10, 15 people, maybe even 8. But let's say it's 100. Okay, he gives every person $100,000 the very next day in cash. Who's not looking the other way for some guy who molested some teenage girls for massages? I mean, guys, he's not dead. If there was a way to prove it, I would bet literally any limb you want. He's not dead. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. He's sitting in prison. I mean, guys, there are people, plenty, in prison who run their operations, their drug operations, from within prison. And they maintain control of people who are free outside of prison, from within the prison. They're calling the shots still. And they're nobodies. They're nothings. They're little street gang punks. This guy is a legitimate businessman, never killed anyone, never convicted of a drug crime. He's got $500 million. He's bought himself out of the situation. He wasn't suicided. He wasn't killed. Impossible. Impossible. Absolute zero. And I just can't believe that I believed that he was murdered in prison or committed suicide. I actually really believed it because I hadn't thought about it from the perspective of the people who were. I thought about it from Jeffrey's perspective. Oh, woe is me. Oh, I'm caught now. It's too late. But now I'm thinking about everyone else around them who sees this guy and says, wait a second. He has $500 million and I'm responsible for watching. you start getting ideas, man, especially if you're stuck in a prison guard's life your whole life, making 50, 60K. You want out. At least you want a nice vacation for your wife, your girlfriend. I mean, there's just no way. There's no way. I can stand 8 minutes. I could sit here on video for the next 24 hours saying the same thing, because it's ridiculous for any of us to think that he signed a will and gave it to like his parents or a few of his friends, and they said, okay, Jeffrey, here's your pill, go to sleep. No way. No way. I've even seen some channels who I truly respect, the creators, who are criminals, hardcore criminals, been in prison. There's a couple of guys who have, and they believe he was suicided too. If he was suicided, there would have been a video. First of all, there would have been a funeral. There was none of that. So, but even beyond that, you don't get suicided when you got $500 million and all you got to do is sign something. He had jewels, probably worth diamonds he could have given out. You each get a diamond in the morning, prison guards. I mean, forget it. Jeffrey Epstein is alive and well. 100,000%. For better or for worse. That part I'm not going to comment on. I was just appalled that I fell for it. Knowing what I know about how people buy themselves out of situations like that with a pittance. Look, we've seen people buy their kids into schools for what? $100,000? There are people willing to risk their careers in education. These are upstanding people. Those are good career jobs with tenure, and and they're risking it for a student, for $100,000. You don't think a prison guard who's doing that hard life, or a warden, or a policeman, they feel like society owes them, and rightfully so. They work damn hard. They're taking the candy, man, and I don't blame them. And let's just assume he's not going to do that again.